followers. Good morning to Himanshu Dubey, who is here today with us. Thank you for accepting our invitation here today. Thank you for being with us. Himanshu is the director for Site Development Consulting Group based in India. We are particularly happy of having you here today, and I am sure that your experience, your words will inspire youngsters that are entering the development cooperation world. So first of all, maybe you can tell us a bit more about your company. What does it do exactly?
Thanks a lot, Rafaela, for the kind introduction. Good morning to all of you. Insight Development Group, or IDCG as we call it, works in providing evidence-based policy of program impact consulting to clients to deliver development projects. These clients could be governments or not-for-profits, even private sector at times. We work across a range of sectors, livelihoods, energy, water, urban rural development, forestry, natural resources, agri. We work extensively in India as well in other developing countries like Afghanistan, Egypt, Tajikistan, amongst others. In recent years, IDCG has been instrumental in planning for planting of almost 25 million trees and monitoring of another 15 million trees which are in the process of being planted. So this is a major achievement in the last couple of years.
That's nice. Well, interesting. So you've had over 26 years of consulting experience across many sectors and with clients from private governments to non-profit organizations. I think it's always interesting, especially for students, to understand how someone has started a career, especially if it's a successful career like yours. So maybe you can tell us more. How did you start yours?
Yeah. So I came into the sector by chance. I did not know that there was such a profession possible. When I had applied for my first job in the sector, I had to join. However, once I joined, I saw that much of the work that my employer was doing was in the development sector. I also learned that by working in the sector, I would be able to contribute not only to the socio-economic development of my country, but also in benefiting millions of individuals through more effective design and implementation of policies and programs.
Good. So you have also traveled a lot, and you have lived and worked in many countries. So I think that having the possibility to live close to different countries is always one of the best chances you have in life from both a professional or a personal point of view. Is there any particular country or any experience you did in one of these countries that you would like to tell us about?
I have traveled for work much more extensively here in India. And as you know, India is as diverse as Europe with multiple languages, cuisines, and societies. Most of my travel has been to short missions for a few days. However, each state and even country gave me something unique. In Afghanistan, I lived in a high security complex, traveled to work at the Ministry of Energy in an armored vehicle. Uh, There, at the ministry, we found many similarities in cuisine with India: pilaf rice, kebabs, even samosas. In Egypt, I not only saw the ancient pyramids at Giza, but also the medieval Nilometer. Similarly, in India, work has taken me to the mighty Himalayas, the majestic rivers like Brahmaputra, and India's long coastline.
Well, it sounds like you've had an interesting traveling life up to now, so very good. What are, according to you, the personal qualities that youngsters should have for success, especially if they're interested in working in development cooperation?
Right. So international development, as you know, the programs benefit individuals, whichever sector it may be: education, health, water, energy, livelihoods. Individuals and their families need it all. Thus, one needs to be committed to do good, have an open mind to learn and understand, and thereafter be able to cross-apply learnings across various programs. I think
That's a good advice for students. As you know, in IBF Foundation, we work to open the doors of international cooperation, especially in consultancy, to give them the possibility to have a field experience. So what is your advice? What is your thought about field experience for students?
Yeah, I agree. Fieldwork provides a practical perspective to the theoretical frameworks taught at the university. Many times I refer back to a lesson or two from my school days, from my student days. At IDCG, we provide 2 to 6 months internships. We would be happy to provide internships to 1 or 2 students that IBF Foundation may wish to nominate on an annual basis.
Yeah. Yes, and students always have I think it's nice in youth that they always have a dream, you know, and we always ask them, what is your dream when we interview them. So what was your dream when you started, when you were studying?
Yeah, so see, when I started, when I started out, the India that I was a student in was a very different place from what it is today. And my focus as a student was to get a job, whatever it may be. I mean, I had no views that this is what I wanted to do. I just wanted a job. Even after I started working, I did not realize the full potential of what I was doing. Uh, in fact, it hit me much later in my life that the 200 million World Bank assisted child nutrition project that I helped design as a 27-year-old would have beneficially impacted over 10 million children under the age of 6. And this would I mean, I would suggest is that one should be open to imagining the intense possibilities of socioeconomic transformation of the lives of millions that development cooperation can bring about.
Okay, that's a good advice for teachers. One last question. You've also had a little bit of time to invest on a personal project on retracing Mahatma Gandhi's Salt March. I think this is very interesting. I think it's always nice to have in technical assistance when you're working in development cooperation time for special projects that are for yourself and that give you the feeling that you are leaving a footprint, you know, for the future world or for a better world. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about this project of yours.
So Indians have a love and hate relationship with Gandhi, and it was the same with me. He intrigued me tremendously. And on a trip to his home in Ahmedabad some years back, I realized that he had set out to that arduous journey when he was 61 years old, when most people retire. I was soon joined by my friend Greg Polk in planning it. We extensively read about Gandhi. Then, with another friend, Linda, joining us, we drove out to retrace the march, traveling to every village that Gandhi and his fellow Satyagrahis walked to highlight the indignities that colonial rule heaped on India. On our drive, we discussed Gandhi amongst ourselves and with whomsoever we met. Uh, Especially his impact worldwide. And then Greg invested a lot of his time and effort to design a guidance map for others who may like to retrace Gandhi's Salt March. The readings and the actual retracing helped me understand and appreciate Gandhi and his message much better than I could ever myself.
It's a very nice and interesting project. So I'm happy you've talked about it for us. So thank you very much for being with us here today. Thank you for your words and sharing your experience. I really hope that your experience and your words will be inspiring for youngsters that are approaching this world and that who are listening to us now. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for this opportunity, Rafaela and the IBF Foundation. It has been a pleasure. I am very hopeful that youth of today will contribute to making the world a cooperative and sustainable place for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.